Welcome to the 116th episode of Retrotopia. My name is Brian, and today we're going to be jumping into the void to discuss the third game in the Paper Mario series. That is Super Paper Mario. If you're just here for the conversation, you can head about 25 minutes down the road, and you will find the conversation we had with our guest, Joe from Retrobytes, our other monthly podcast that Joe and myself do. But before we flip to Flopside, I have to get the plugs done. So, if you could rate it 5 stars and leave a comment wherever you get your podcast, that helps us get seen. It drives us into the algorithm or whatever magic the internet does. We also have social media. You can find it all at linktree/Retrotopia. That's linktr.ee/Retrotopia. Also, we have a merch store. If you go to retrotopia.dashery.com, there's also a link in the description of this podcast. That is our merch store. We have a couple of designs. We're cooking up some more as the new year progresses. We also have a Patreon, and if you want, you can join the Patreon for free, and you get to take part in polls, chat with the host, you get to write in about the game of the week, you also get to write to the host on the 9-Bit Banter Box, you get the extra show Quick Play, as well as Retrobytes, which is usually 15 days early, but now Joe and I are reformatting the show a little bit, and we're trying to determine the best way forward. We think we have something, but we just have to, let it simmer a little bit more and see how it goes. So, you can enjoy that. It does come out as soon as we're done recording, and then it comes out on the 15th of the month for everyone else who uses the Podbean feed. You can also join the Hero tier at $2 a month, and you also get to select a game for a host to review on Quick Play as of January this year, which is basically the month this is coming out. We have reset everybody's picks for Quick Play, so everybody, again, who is part of the Hero tier from beginning to now, get to choose a Quick Play game again for one of the hosts to play, and some of you have already started, and if you listen to future episodes, you might see us trying to guide you in a certain way. You also get the podcast New Game Plus, where roughly once a month, one of us, or a couple of us, or even all of us will sit there and make a show about something new, or something kind of video game adjacent. Like Sam did the Dragon Quest manga series, so that's the kind of thing you're looking at. We also did a play-in chat with Mario Kart World. It's a show for us to kind of get away from the norm of the routine that we do here. Also, if you join the Hero tier, you do get a shout out, and like our newest hero, thank you JC for joining the Hero tier. All that stuff I just mentioned, that's available to you. Now, before we get into the next section, I just need to address something. It's about a comment we received, and it's just, it said we make too many fart jokes, and we have IQs of 80. That part's probably true. We're not the smartest podcast out there. I'm simply going to say, we are not here to educate people on video games. We're more about the experience as adults with busy lives, and how we get on with video games. In a way, we just chat with each other and how we like the video games. Yeah, it's a little bit more formulaic nowadays as it was back in the day, but it's for us, it's a passion. It's not even a job. It is a hobby. Any money we make goes back into the podcast just to distribute it better. If you want great podcasts that are very knowledgeable and also very entertaining, you can check out Retro Hangover. You got Retro Wilds. You also got the Main Quest podcast. These are all top 50 podcasts with people a lot smarter than us. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to promise you this. So going forward, we did discuss this, and we're going to strive to do better, and I promise we're going to hold out on things like the fart jokes as long as we can, because we want to be culturally elegant, like our next segment, the 9-Bit Banter Box. Our first question comes from Brother Retro, who says, "Okay, Brian, enough is enough. Can a brother get one episode with a good set of high-quality fart mics? You guys can spend 90 minutes talking about wieners, but I can't get one single butt snort right into my eardrums. Come on, man. Let's hear those fanny bubbles. Love, Brother Retro." Alright, so this is probably one of the weirdest requests I've ever had. But you know what? I'm here to give the audience what they want. So we know we go to the dick joke well way too often, and we do own that, but to have us go solo as to make fart jokes, it's probably something that we will never sing to. So please, Brother Retro, for the sake of our show and for the sake of decorum, please refrain from asking us such silly questions. We went as long as we could. It was just too hard. Next up, we have Random Yoshi94, who says, "Hey Brian, in Punch-Out Wii, you can get Super Macho Man to say, 'Release the bogus.' What would you like Super Macho Man to release?" Well, he could release the Beast, release the Kraken, as is Pirates of the Caribbean, release the Hounds, but mostly, I want him to release a new game on Switch 2 called Macho Man's Nacho Stand. It's a cooking game in the style of Cooking Mama, and you make nachos, and you run your stand. If a customer complains, it turns into a boxing match, and you get to tune somebody up as Macho Man. Release the bogus. Thanks for the question, Yoshi94, who's changing his name quite often on Discord, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, keep doing it. I love it. Next up, we got Badass Hooli, who also changes his name all the time. Don't love it as much. Hello, Brian. I hope you've been well. You have been assigned to the task of creating a new video game. The only requirement is the main protagonist is a dog. What kind of game are you going to make? And what breed of dog will be the star? And what is their name? And finally, who is the villain? Well, Hooli, simple. Star of the game is going to be a chocolate lab. Reasons are my own. If you really want to know, I'm not going to tell you. Anyways, it will be called The Wonderful Chocolatey World of Choco the Chocolate Lab, and it's going to be a casual platformer. It's going to be a little more relaxing because chocolate labs are super chill, man. Your mission is to rid the house of all the bad things. The intruders, the male people, you got girl guides coming to the house there trying to sell you the goddamn cookies. You got the Boy Scouts, and you know they have knives, so they got to get out of there. You're going to use your bark function. Every time the doorbell rings, you have to hit the bark button. It's just tap an A until the dog runs out of, voice. You also have to protect your person. You go for walks and stuff like that. You're always on guard. You're always looking around for stupid cats. Go to the dog park there. You're going to be sniffing ass I can't even think of a metaphor for that. Just sniffing ass, probably like Hooli does all the time. Then you're also going to get barked for no reason. You get to loaf around for hours on end. There's going to be an entire mission where if you touch a controller for 6 hours, well, you fail. So you have to just sit there and lay around. As well as you're going to get scritches and scratches from your person. And, of course, the final boss is going to be the evil vacuum cleaner, to whom you will get into random battles throughout the game, leading to the ultimate showdown at the end where you protect your person who is being dragged by the vacuum cleaner. There you go. How's that? How did I do there, Hooli? Hopefully that is worthy of your money. Thank you. Next up, we have Philip, my mouth with farts. It says, "Hi, Brian. Scenario for you. You've broken into each of the co-hosts' house, but you aren't there to steal anything valuable. You're taking something that will really inconvenience the others. What are you taking?" Oh, God. I sat down and I really thought about this. Alan, our British host, with his very lovely accent, I'm going to sneak into his gaming room and I'm going to switch the power cords to his console from the British plug to the North American style. That's going to cause him to have to purchase converters for all of his consoles. Sam, I'm going to sneak into his house. I'm going to take all of his spoons. He's going to have a hard time eating soup after that. Just think of him sitting there crying over a bowl of soup because he has no spoons. And of course, Joe, with his glorious Joe beard, I'm going to sneak into his house and steal his beard comb and leave him with this unmanageable mess on his face. More so than his actual face. So yeah, mildly inconvenient, nothing that's going to stop them from carrying on with their day, except for it's going to be annoying a little bit, especially Alan as he's attempting to figure out how to put those 2 prongs into his 3-prong plug. Thank you for the question, Mr. Wee Farts. Next up, we have The Big Deal, who says, "Please rank your top 5 Brians, or Brians with a Y. Please and thank you. First off, I spell my name with an I. It is the correct way to spell it. Anybody who spells it differently is incorrect. That is gospel. I guess. I don't know. Some of the joke I used to make with my cousin. He's also named Brian, but he spells it with a Y. I would always tell him he spells his name wrong. I guess I said it enough. He actually recognized me when I mentioned it to him one time after we hadn't seen each other for probably a decade. Regardless, let's get into my greatest Brians of all time. Let's start with Bryan Cranston. This is in no particular order except for the last one. You know Bryan Cranston from Malcolm in the Middle, Breaking Bad, Your Honor, and all these different types of movies. He's a great comedian. He's a great actor. He's just an all-around, good entertainment person. So he's my first. He spells it with a Y though, so we'll contact him and get him to fix that. Next up, we have Brian May, the guitarist for Queen. No commentary really needed. I really do enjoy Queen, and his guitar work on Queen is just mwah, chef's kiss. Next, we have Brian Cox. Brian Cox is in a lot of stuff. I don't think, well, he's starred in stuff, but he's always been kind of there. And I think I've seen him grow from like a old adult to a really old adult. He was in Super Troopers as the chief. He's in Succession as the father. He's in the Bourne series as the FBI agent. He's just everywhere. And of course, next up, we have the boisterous Brian Boitano, because...
What would Brian Boitano do if he was here right now? He'd make a plan and he'd follow through. That's what Brian Boitano do.
When Brian Boitano was in the Olympics skating for the gold, he did 2 style cows and a triple Lutz while wearing a blindfold.
Because that's what Brian Boitano do. Anyways, the final one, the final Brian, the top 5 of all the 5 Brians is me, because I love me. And you might know me from the co-host of Retro Bites and Retrotopia, occasional guest on other podcasts, and just all-around good guy to drink a beer with. And the only reason I picked me is because, one, I couldn't really find another Brian that I didn't do a lot of research, but no name really came to mind. I mean, there's Brian Leach and the New York Rangers back in the 90s. That's probably the only other one. But also, you gotta love yourself. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna love me, and that will be my top 5 list of Brians. Thank you very much, Mr. The Big Deal. Next up, and finally, we have McFlurry XD, which I've recently learned the XD is actually a smiley face, more than it is probably the end of his name. God, I am so old. They say, hey, Brian, I heard you over on Ye Old Podcast to blank a couple of weeks back, which is how I found out about your show in the first place. I'm glad you guys are still doing shows together. Adam seems like a good dude. I hope the holidays were good for you and yours, and I hope 2026 is good for you. Cheers from the Midwest down here in Freedom Land. Well, I've been on Remember the Game with Adam Blank a couple of times. He invites me on occasionally, and I've been learning to keep pace with him. The man can talk, and the man can talk very well. It's really a joy to kind of sit there and see his process. It's definitely amazing. It's definitely, he's one of the people who inspired us to kind of do this show. And some of the chats I have with him they're just fun. The guy is funny, even when he's not always trying to be funny. He's a good comedian. He's a good person. And definitely, if you listen to this show first and then you haven't listened to anything else, check out Remember the Game. On top of all those other podcasts I've mentioned in this show. Also, I'm a moderator in his Discord, something he, asked me to do, and God, I've been having a great time because it's like the easiest community to moderate. There's very rarely anybody that causes any issues, so he has managed to do what, we strive to do, which is foster a positive environment for everybody who shows up. So thank you very much. Happy holidays from the Retrotopia crew to you as well, and cheers from your upstairs neighbor here in Canada land. Now that's going to do it for the 9-Bit Banter Box. Thank you very much, everybody, for writing in. As always have some fun doing this. This time I got to cut a few clips, record something before we got a question, comment about it, and then we just laughed. Anyways, we always love hearing from everybody. It's always a good time to answer these questions. Really makes us think, really warms us up, for the week. But speaking of warming up for the week, all the positivity and all that stuff, well, it's time to take out the monkey paw of Retrotopia. It's time for Choose One, Lose One. It is the game of Retrotopia, and every week what we ask the Patreons to do is write in something from the game of the week that they would like to have as a power or an ability or something, and we monkey paw it and give them a negative, a counterbalance just to keep the universe in check. And this week we got a few responses, starting with random Yoshi94, who says, I want a cool manual. Now, I'm going to assume you're talking about the game manual. I took a look at it. It's a pack full of information there, and it's very colorful as well. So You do get your manual. You get your manual that explains everything Yoshi 94, but it's written in a dead language and nobody can translate it, so we still know nothing about you. Next up, we have Old Man Gamer, It says, I love the ability to become paper thin that would make peeping on Sam so much easier. Well, you do it. You get your wish. You overdo the Ozempic there, and you are now 2D thin. You are paper thin. But you're made of tissue paper, so you cannot stay erect. Sam somehow cures this problem. I'm not going to get into how he does. A wink. Next up, we have Badass Hooli. It says, I would like the ability to flip between dimensions, please. I have seen you flip between dimensions when you came up to Canada for a comedy show and you had some of that Canadian jazz cabbage there. You were not in the same dimension as the rest of us. Whoa, baby. But yes, you can now flip between dimensions, but like Mario, you go from your standard dimension to the next, so you can only flip between the third and fourth dimensions, and the fourth dimension opens your mind so wide that you go insane with the knowledge of everything. You just come back a bumbling mess like I am, and nobody can take you seriously. Finally, Unbuckle Cape from the Unbuckle Cape comics, as well as a new one, which I unfortunately the name escapes me right now. I apologize. But he says, I want little handy-dandy companions to help me with simple tasks, mainly the little hands so I can get stuff across the room. I appreciate your laziness. I am right on board with that. So you get your pixies, is what they are called in the game, and but they never leave you alone. They're always there. They're always around you, and they're always watching. The hand eventually learns to anticipate your need to get the lube, though. So positive on a negative. So that's everybody for Choose One, Lose One. I hope I did well. I love doing that game. It is a good time. And speaking of a good time, guess what time it is? It is time for Alan to take over the mic and give us the Gentleman's Interlude.
Once upon a flip of the page, in a kingdom where stories were pressed flat like origami, and heroes could step sideways out of destiny, there lived a plumber named Mario. This tale is Super Paper Mario, a storybook adventure for the Wii that begins not with a jump, but with a prophecy, one written in the inky margins of an ancient tome. The dark prognosticus foretells the rise of Count Bleck, a sorrowful sorcerer who plans to end all worlds with a swirling void of nothingness. To stop him, Mario must leave the comfort of the Mushroom Kingdom and travel through chapters like turning pages, each land stitched together by jokes, riddles, and paper-thin danger. Along the way, he meets Princess Peach, the grumpy Bowser, the logical Luigi, and a cast of pixels, tiny fairy companions who grant strange powers and sass in equal measure. What makes this fairy tale delightfully odd is its magic trick. With a press of a button, Mario flips the world from 2D to 3D, revealing hidden paths, secrets, and the truth behind flat appearances. Enemies become puzzles, jokes become lore, and even villains are given hearts heavy with regret. The story laughs, then quietly asks about love, loss, and whether fate can be folded into something kinder. Behind the scenes, this book was carefully bound by Intelligent Systems, the studio known for thoughtful storytelling, and published by Nintendo. It was directed by Ryota Kawade and produced by Kensuke Tanabe, blending action, platforming, and role-playing into something uniquely paper-graphed. The story first opened its covers in North America on April 9th, 2007, followed by Japan on April 19th, 2007. European readers joined the adventure on September 14th, 2007, with Australia close behind on September 20th, 2007. And when the final page turns, Super Paper Mario leaves you with a gentle truth. Even in a world made of paper, feelings are real, and stories can change everything.
As always, we'd like to thank you, Alan, for the work you put into the Gentleman's Interlude. It's acceptable. You'll get a good review on your annual performance review. No raise. So before we get into the episode here, we always like to open up a section on Patreon to give you a chance to weigh in your thoughts about the game. And we start with Brother Retro, who says, as a huge Mario fan in general, this is a series I've been sleeping on for too long. Maybe this episode will push me enough to finally check the series out. I hope it does, because it's a good game. Next up is Random Yoshi94, and I keep doing that because he has a question mark after Random, by the way. He says, so I really enjoy Paper Mario games. Have the first one on the NSO, Thousand Year Door remake, and this on Wii and Origami King. I still got to put some time into it, though. Yes, the Paper Marios are good, great, okay, a little bit worse, and why did they even bother? Kind of in that order. Next up, we have Badass Hooli says, I haven't played this since high school, but I love this game. My favorite Paper Mario. Well said. And high school, having seen you, was probably last year. Unbuckled Capes says, and he's going to wrap it up for us, he says, I think this Paper Mario gets looked at as sort of the black sheep, and I guess I get why. I love this one. I love the different characters and their different abilities. I love that it wasn't the standard turn-based battle system. Yes, that made it more of a traditional Mario game rather than the standard, up to that point, Paper Mario formula. But I still really liked it, and it's one of the few Wii games I played to completion because the motion controls didn't feel too out of place. Exactly. We get into it, but yes, this is the only Paper Mario game that doesn't use a turn-based battle system or a combat system like an RPG, but it still has RPG elements. It's really well done. It's like you have the feeling of the original Mario Brothers, but the gameplay of a role-playing game, because you still level up and get more health and power and stuff like that. They incorporated them both together in what I've been calling a platform RPG, which I'm pretty sure is already a thing, but I like to pretend I coined it. So I'm going to start a little bit of music here, and I'm just simply going to say that Alan is not in this episode this week because we invited Joe to come talk to us, and Alan took the week off to keep that three-person dynamic so that we could talk about Super Paper Mario, developed by Intelligent Systems, published by the Nintendo on the Nintendo Wii in April 2007, September, I believe, in the EU for some reason. Thank you for listening, and we really hope you guys enjoy the show. It is time for Super Paper Mario. I am, of course, your host with the most, Brian, and, as always, the Luigi to my Mario. With me is Sam, my podcasting life partner. Heterosexual? TBD. Yeah. And joining us this time in lieu of Alan, who has taken the day off or taken the week off, we have brought the Retro Bites co-host back from his time away, just getting off a fresh cold there. And you might have heard him on the Mario Kart episode and the Pokemon episode, Gen 2, I believe it was. That is Joe. Joe, how are you doing?
Healthy and not dying, finally, so pretty good.
Fantastic. Outstanding. Good to hear. No, it's good to have you back, Joe. It's been a while since we've had you on the show here, and last time you were on, you recounted a story that we ended up posting separately from the episode. Any stories on this one?
No, I'm gonna warn you right now, though. There's no cop car or whatever shenanigans involved with Super Paper Mario.
All right, well,
that's disappointing.
I guess so. Yeah, right.
All right, fine. All right, lie, got it.
Yeah, just come up with something. I don't know.
Well, it was one time I met a guy in a jail cell named Bubba.
This guy in the
Anyways,
back of a van offered me this game and candy. It was so delicious.
Yeah, he didn't even have the game.
Or the candy.
But so last time, Sam, we talked about Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. So
Yep.
a little bit about that one. We both enjoyed that game. I believe by the end of it, we were both quite satisfied with it. You remember your that game that much? You remember your opinions, your thoughts?
I do. I remember liking it, but also that it got a bit lengthy at times when it came to like just kind of like going back and forth and doing like just fetch questy chatter back and forth with different characters. So overall I think it was good, but I think maybe people have the nostalgic glasses on for that one. But I did enjoy it. It wasn't bad. Just sometimes
it was
yeah.
a decent turn-based role-playing game featuring our favorite plumber that had a banger of an RPG followed by a bunch of Paper Marios.
I
this
enjoy the
actually,
Paper Mario formula just in general. Like
yeah,
Paper Mario
which is
64,
funny because Super Paper Mario, the game we're talking about today, actually breaks that formula a little bit because it still has the Paper Mario style, but it is the only non-turn-based Paper Mario there is. It actually uses an action-based, more like a platforming RPG, if you would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I would. I was thinking about this. It has more in common with like a Castlevania than it does like a turn-based Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of cool, actually.
I know. I remember, because I picked this up at launch, and I was still pretty young. I think it was one of the very few games, first games I bought with my own money. But I remember playing Thousand Year Door a ton, and then when I saw this, I was like, oh shit, another one. Sweet. And pick it up, and just, at first, I hated it just because I was so used to, your traditional turn-based RPG, and then this was so different at first. It took me a minute to kind of get used to it and then fall in love with it after.
Yeah. No, I guess that segues us right into the history there. So we know Joe's history. Sam, what's your history with the game?
None. So the Wii that I have was actually my parents' Wii, and they were like, well, we don't really want this anymore. You want it? And I was like, oh, yeah. So I grabbed that, and I think Super Paper Mario might have been one of the first pickups that I grabbed for it, because it was relatively inexpensive, and I had heard good things about it. And it's a Paper Mario. Like, I'm not gonna say no to a Paper Mario, even if it's one of the ones that's not considered the best. I'd still like to try it. So that's my history with it. And I don't know where else I was going with that. I picked it up as part of the collection, and here it is.
Yeah, that's same with me. I had the Wii and Paper Marios. They're RPGs. I've been a big RPG guy, and same idea. I was like, I saw it. I was like, well, obviously I like the Paper Mario games. This one has like a little bit of a gimmick. I know the Wii is going to always use that Wii remote in the worst possible way. I never got on with the Wii remote. No. And this game just kind of blew me out of the water with, like, it used the Wii remote, but in the style of a Nintendo controller because you turn it sideways. And then it used the like actual wand feature as a way to use as kind of like a flashlight to find hidden things or find out information and enemies and bosses and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
It was really good. I actually really fell in love with this game the first time I played it. The 2D to 3D mechanic is what really got me. So yeah, I got this right away and I love this game. So like a little bit of a spoiler for the end, but I even love the playthrough again, even though I only played like a chapter at a time. Mm-hmm. I just I still loved it.
Yeah, I appreciate how much it didn't like beat you over the head with like how much Wii remote gimmicky just crap it could have, because I feel like everything around this time, because this was pretty early in the Wii's lifetime, I think, too, and just everything was motion control, and it never worked right. And yeah, just being able to pick this up like a classic Nintendo controller, like you said, and just run around, play the game, and occasionally shine it at the screen when you need to was fan-freaking-tastic.
A breath
games,
of fresh air.
Oh,
Yeah.
big time.
games like this really made me want to look into more Wii games that use this style of like just holding the Wiimote sideways without the nunchuck, or being able to play with. There was a Wii gamepad, I think. It's really weird.
There is,
looking.
yeah, I have
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's like an oval and it has like one stick on it, doesn't it? And a D-pad, I think. It's really weird. But
Something
it was
like that, I think.
but it was useful when they had the virtual console. But anyways, like
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
I'm definitely looking for more games like that. Like Metroid Other M was fantastic. This game is fantastic.
Yeah, that was the best part about Metroid Other M for
Yeah.
me, was the fact that it used a controller the same manner, the sideways,
Yep.
and it felt fluid. Like it was so well done.
Yeah. I mean, I picked up Fire Emblem for the Wii. I'm looking forward to playing that, because as soon as like towards the end of playing this game, I was like, man, I'm like really jonesing for the Wii. What am I going to play next? And I kind of picked it up off the shelf and looked at it, and lo and behold, it has like on the back of your Wii game, if you have a Wii, like pick up one of the games and look at the back. It will show a picture of the controller configuration that you need for the game. So like if a game required a nunchuck, it'll have a picture of both or whatever. The Fire Emblem, when I picked it up, it had like a picture of that gamepad, a picture of the Wiimote sideways, and then a picture of a GameCube controller. And I was like, "Oh, this is perfect."
Yeah.
Like I don't even need the Wiimote.
Didn't they get rid of the ports for the GameCube on the newer models of the
Yeah.
Wii?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But I
not
think-
on the non-launch ones.
Yeah. Mine's an older
Yeah.
one though.
Yeah,
I
so
got
is
an older
mine.
one too, thankfully.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hoodie.
Yeah. Anybody who bought a new one is missing out. Kind of like the PS3 there with the backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the story of this game. So this game's got it's a Paper Mario. The story is not too deep. So it starts out with the classic Peach getting kidnapped and Mario and Luigi off to Bowser's castle to save him. A little bit of a battle happens when a Count Bleck shows up. And then Count Bleck goes and brainwashes Bowser's army. Then he kidnaps Bowser, Peach, and Luigi and sends Mario off to the Nether region, which ends up being Flipside, I believe, as the town is called.
Yeah.
So that's where Mario meets his pixie named Tippy and a wizard named Merlin, who then explains about the Void and the Chaos Heart that Count Bleck has, and he's trying to destroy everything. Then he also mentions the Prognocticus, both the light and dark one. The dark one being the one Count Bleck is using to fulfill his prophecy, and the light one is the one Merlin's using to fulfill his. Then he explains about how Mario has to capture the pure hearts in 8 separate worlds, and that's where our story begins. So Mario is off into 8 separate worlds, beautifully broken into the Super Mario Brothers style of World 1-1 through World 8-4.
Yeah.
That was just a charming addition going through
I-
this too.
Love that. I love
Yeah.
that they did that, and just you knew how long the game was going to be.
Exactly.
4 chapters per level, and it was just so nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good call out. Like you go into a new world and you know exactly, it's a known quantity. You're going to get 4 sub levels and then that's it. Like some were longer than others, but also like when you finished one, they're save bricks throughout, but also whenever you finished one to end the chapter, you could save between. So there was like ample opportunity to save. Just really well done that way.
Yeah, it was odd how like some levels it would be like take you 20, 30, 40 minutes to complete, and then the next level takes you like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the one level, the level 7, I think it is, the 100 battles, where you're going through and you end up having to do 26 battles before the story kicks in, and from there you just continue run for a while past all these guys, and you can talk to them and they're just letting you go by, and it was just tedious after a while.
Yeah, I could have done without that. I was like, well, at least we don't have to do all 100 battles. But even like the ones that we did were like, okay, that's quite enough. And then it's like, well, we're still gonna make you like run through a few of these before. I think at that point that world gets destroyed, right?
Yeah, it does.
And that one's just
Thankfully.
obnoxious top to bottom, because then once you go back into it, it's just blank space, and then you're just like walking forever on blank white space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't get into it too much, but after you beat this, it does have a full post game. You can go around, finish side quests and everything, and all that.
Yeah, there's a couple of side quests.
But this world is rebuilt by the end of it, and you can go back and actually do the whole 100 trials. Or 100 fights. I just have I don't even remember what you get for it.
What do you? Yeah,
there's a trick I found.
I did it as a kid,
fights,
but I don't remember.
Those fights are dumb simple if you use this one trick. Use Carry, the pixel that carries you.
Mm-hmm.
Then use Bowser, and then on Carry when you jump and hold down to use Bowser's Fire Breath, it works. So.
Oh.
You basically have the most powerful attack in the game, which is Fire Breath, and this platform that makes him fast as fuck, and it just becomes the most broken part of the game. That was 90% of how I beat bosses.
Oh, shit.
I would swap between that and did you guys get... there's a couple of bonus pixels you can get in this. Did you guys
noticed
get
one. Yeah.
the the barrier one?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
But I know of them.
Yeah, all you had to do was go back into the pixelated world one. I forgot. I think Bitlands is what it was called. After you beat it, and he just joins your party.
Is that the one that's hiding behind a bush?
Yeah, that you see at the very beginning, and he's like, "Hey, if you do all this stuff, that'd be cool. If you do it all, go right back in and just shake the bush and be like, cool, I'll join you."
Oh, that's
But yeah,
awesome.
he's a protective barrier for 2-3 seconds, and you could just mash him too. So, it's literally just straight up invincibility.
Nice.
And the barrier does damage on top of it, which is just beautiful.
Yeah, I never got Barry, but I knew of Barry back when I played it the first time. You went through the walkthrough and you got everything.
Yeah.
You have Barry Dash L when you beat the 100 fights, and then you have Piccolo, who you get in...
I don't even remember. Piccolo, I had to look it up earlier. It's like a fetch questy one, if I'm remembering. You gotta go talk to this person, and then talk to this person, and then talk to this person type deal.
Is that the one that makes you tiny?
Key. No, Piccolo's another optional one.
All right.
Yeah.
And you had to hunt that one down.
Okay.
But it does make certain things easier and stuff, but it's not necessary at all.
It
just cures negative status.
Oh, nice. And that's actually cool.
I think it does super damage on 2 sub bosses as well, if I remember right as well.
Yeah.
So some of the other pixels you get are Thoro, which picks up and throws something good for the first boss. Boomer, which blows up cracks in the wall and certain enemies. You get Slim, which turns you sideways, so because you're Paper Mario, you're already slim, and that lets you avoid certain obstacles because you disappear from the screen. You're basically in 3D land without being in 3D land or 3D view.
Mm-hmm.
You get Thudley, which does the Mario butt slam. You get Carry, which lets you ride him like a skateboard over spikes and stuff like that. Fleep, which reveals hidden objects. You'll see cracks in the screen that are glowing. They flip. Cudge, which is the hammer. Dottie, which shrinks you. And then if you go back and get Barry, which is a quick one, is your barrier.
Yep.
Yeah, they were pretty cool.
Which was your favorite?
I'm a sucker for a hammer. Oh, Carry? Really? Because of what you just mentioned.
Speed.
Yeah, movement speed and then the fire.
Just movement speed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was 95% on Carry because even when I had to switch, I'd go back to Carry right away just because it was a lot faster to get around.
And you don't have to worry, like you said, you don't have to worry about spike enemies or anything ever.
I should have used that. Damn.
What were you rocking? Just the hammer?
I love the hammer. Possible? No, yeah, just any Paper Mario game. I fucking love that hammer. So I just walk around and smash the shit out of it.
It's a solid optional.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, we talked about it a little bit too. I mean, there's also just play as Mario. You play as Mario, Bowser, Peach, and Luigi.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually. All eventually.
And you lose Luigi.
And then you get him back, and then you lose him again, and then you get him back, and yeah, that's a whole mess. But who did you guys use the most? Who was your main party member that you were using throughout this?
Bowser with Carry. Like I said, it was just 90% of the battles were just shoot fire and then ride Carry around for speed.
Yeah, if I had known the Carry trick, I would have used Bowser more. But he's just too slow.
I was gonna say he was slow as shit otherwise.
Yeah, which is his drawback. I mean, he doesn't jump particularly
Obviously.
high, and he's slow, but that he makes up for it in his attack power and his fire breathing. I use mostly Mario.
Literally has. Yeah, I think he literally has double attack power of like all your other party members.
Yeah.
Well, Mario is my second most used because I'd constantly flip to 3D just to check shit out.
That too, yeah. Having that at hand really quick was really useful.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, when I say flip into 3D, just for anybody
we should
who
probably
hasn't
talk
played
about
the
that
game.
Yeah.
So this game does a 2D plane, so you're doing a platformer like you're doing any side-scrolling Mario game, but you can also flip into a 3D view where if you're going from left to right, you'll flip and you'll look ahead of where you're going and you can see a certain distance down as far as I guess the Wii can draw. Mm-hmm. And there's secrets in the 3D realm. You can hide from enemies, you can get past big ones, you find other objects, there's hidden paths, a whole bunch of stuff. So this game flips you between 2D and 3D, and Mario is the only character that can do that. Peach, where you get second, she can float like she does in Super Mario Bros. 2, and if you duck, she becomes invulnerable to anything. She puts an umbrella over her head, and she's just a beast because you sit there and you just don't get hurt. Then you get Bowser. Like I said, Bowser has a fire breath, but is slow as fuck. He's just super powerful. And then, of course, you eventually get Luigi, who, like Super Mario Bros. 2, or was introduced in Super Mario Bros. 2, can jump higher than Mario. So... Don't die, Joe. So,
wow, that was off mic too. Damn, sorry.
It's close enough.
So you got the 4 characters and you flip between them. Of course, you're going to have to use certain characters at certain times because the puzzles require it. I don't think the bosses are really tailored to any particular character. You just near the end of the game,
they are.
Forced to use a certain character for a certain boss.
But one thing that was cool was, like we mentioned, you can point the Wiimote at the screen and you'll have a little cursor. And actually, when it does that, it basically pauses the game for you.
I love that it freezes the game.
Because then it allows you to actually lock on to whatever you want to know about. So if it's the boss, it's going to stop. You can check it out, and then your pixie thing will tell you. Like there was a boss in particular that was best with Luigi because he had that ability where he scrunches down and jumps up, and then he could do damage from below. And that was really useful on that dragon. So that was cool.
It was nice being able to spend like 5 seconds. All right, try and figure this out. What am I missing? And then pointing at the screen, pause, get some info, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm missing this glaringly obvious mechanic. And then you cakewalk whatever you're going up against because it is Paper Mario at the end of the day. Nothing's
it is.
overly difficult.
It's like
and that's kind of a nice thing.
Yeah,
that was my point.
If I was having any trouble with something, I'd be like, "Oh shoot, I probably got the wrong character out." And you take a couple hits, and you're like, "Shoot, this isn't working." Then you flip to that, or if you just want to do it right away. So it kind of gives you that ability.
It gives
to
you the option.
Yeah, challenge yourself, or just
The only time I died in this game was because I was chasing. It was an optional enemy to find. And I wasn't paying attention to how many times I got hit, and I died trying to chase it around, trying to figure out what it did. And I can't remember what the enemy was. I know it was like you hit it dumps out coins every time you hit it, but you can only get it in the 3D world, and trying to land on an enemy in the 3D world is hard enough, and this thing would run away from you.
Yeah.
Is it one of those coin purses?
Well, I loved... was it? I don't remember those. But that's the thing I was going to say, too, about the 3D flip mechanic. I liked it for puzzles and exploring, but God help me if you had to use it in combat. It was just impossible to get, like, depth and, like, being able to land on enemies accurately. I struggled a lot. Anytime I had to fight someone, I just tried to do it in 2D as much as humanly possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you can use your shadow kind of like if you're playing, like, an isometric type 3D game, but it's still not the same. It still doesn't work that great.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it helps, and it helped me in times, but it still just did not feel right. I could never place it.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why that was, because it's like, obviously we play other games that are 3D and don't have any problems like jumping on shit. And I think it's because you're in a 3D space, but like your character and all the other characters are still like these flat 2D sprites, and so it's really hard to line up. where you're supposed to land.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. When it does the 2D thing, it doesn't give you a left or right or an up and down. It doesn't give you that third plane. So
Yeah.
obviously the game's going to let you land on the guy. But yeah, I think Sam's right. It might be because you are paper thin.
That
And
might
it's
be it.
Not very often that you actually have to
No.
do something in 3D to move forward in the game. There's a couple of times you have to. There's this one where this enemy replicates. And
Oh, fuck that.
it
And he's in
replicates
3D,
even
yeah.
if you're back in the 2D
Yeah.
2D side scrolling. So I flipped back to 3D and this thing had replicated about 15 times and I'm like, well, fuck. I hit one and ended up bouncing off him and then it's like hit like 4 or 5 others and they all just ended up disappearing. I was like, great. I had a feeling I had to kill the original to kill them all.
Yeah, it's really satisfying when you throw something and then you hit like multiple things and you hear that like kind of like whatever sound it makes and you see all those little numbers pop up for damage. It's like, oh yes, that was a good throw.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about how you leveled up in XP in this? How it was actually tied to points?
Yeah, I was actually about to get into that.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea because, I mean, it's the same vein as experience points to be realistic. There's no difference. You hit an enemy, you get a certain amount of points, but you also get points for collecting coins. You also get points for other things in the game. You can do this move after you bounce off of somebody and it goes nice. And you get extra points. It's
Was that in
a
this
good way
one?
to level up. Yeah, it's in this one.
Oh, shit. I never knew that.
Yeah, it's a timing thing. So you bounce off somebody and you hit the button again. He does
Yeah.
a flip and
Oh shoot!
yeah.
I remember
Like a little
doing
flip?
that in Thousand Year Door. I never attempted that in this because did it tell you that, or did you just
No,
guess
I
and
just
figure that out?
I did it accidentally, and then from that point I figured out how to do it.
Oh, shoot,
Okay,
that would have
yeah,
been useful.
that makes more sense. Because I was like, I remember hearing about that even. Damn it, that would have been nice.
I know,
Yeah,
and I only learned about it at,
leaving
like,
experience.
yeah, I only learned about it at the very end of Thousand Year Door too. So it's like great. I could have been using that the whole time.
That sucks.
Did you notice in some of the early levels, like World 1-1 there, some of the throwbacks to the original Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah,
Like right off the bat there, it kind of goes through World 1-1 of Super Mario Brothers. Not like exactly, but close enough that you get that nostalgic feeling.
Yeah, I think like the first half of it is just straight up World 1-1. And yeah, it just plays like a dream, and then you had the 3D mechanic just to see it from a different perspective, which was fun as well.
yeah. There's a World 1-2 somewhere too where you go down a pipe and then there's like 3 warp pipes and all that, like everything.
Oh,
yeah.
But if you go on the warp pipes, you end up going back instead of warping.
Yeah, it's not, they're not really warp pipes, but it's still set up the same. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was kind of a nice callback.
I like that level. That was the one where I didn't go back and get the block or whatever the what did you call that one? The barrier one?
Barry.
Yeah, Barry. Yeah.
I was gonna say
cool
the
level.
pixel names aren't hard. They're named what they do,
Pretty much, yeah.
which was nice at times. What was your guys' favorite world?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm just kind of looking them over because the early levels are kind of a blank. But
Yeah,
you know what? Bitlands or the one where everything is pixelated, where you find Bowser.
Yeah.
I like that one. That was neat.
I know. I was a big fan of that. It's probably mine as well. But I like the playability and like how the Bitlands worked in Chapter 3. But I like the idea of the second to last one, the underworld, underwear, and over there. I like the idea.
Oh, yeah.
I love the idea of that, where it's like, hey, your game's over, you're dead, you're in the underworld. It played like utter shit, though. I hated playing it this time around.
Climbing the clouds in the over there, like the upper area, that drove me nuts, where you had to go through the different doors to find the different gurus or whatever they were.
It's just every chapter in that one had some aspect of, and I hate this trope of like, you get like to the very end of it and it's like, hey, oh yeah, you need this thing that's all the way at the beginning, you better run back there. And every chapter had one of those bits. And just, this is also the point too where I was like speed running this last night. And I literally had to do this whole chapter and the last one.
Yeah,
and
those are rough
just
to be back to back.
No, it was bad. It left
Yeah.
such a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Man. I'm like, fucking regret doing this now.
Yeah, that's why when you said you stayed up late to play like the last 2 levels, like, oh shit, that's rough, dude. Because the Blex
Yeah.
Castle kind of sucks too.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Did either of you take the warp pipe like that's in your inventory back to Flipside?
Constantly.
So, yeah.
Did you,
every now
when
and
you
then.
went back into the world, did you start at the like 7-1 all the time, or were you able to choose your world or your level?
I was able to choose if I,
Okay,
got
'cause-
to it.
World 8, the only time I used that warp pipe to go back, and
Oh.
I was on 8-2, and I had got to the save point. I was like, I need some healing items, and I used it, thinking I could start back at 8-2, but it started me back at 8-1 again.
That sucks.
I wonder, because that one is so unique, I wonder if that's why.
Yeah,
I've
that's why I had to
never
ask you
done
guys.
it. Yeah, I never did it on that world, and that might be why I never encountered it. Because, I mean, I don't know if you want to get into it now much or not, but you end up losing party members in that one as you progress through
Oh,
the
yeah,
chapters.
Yeah, I guess.
I wonder if that's part of the reason why, if you went back, it would. Because when you went back to Flipside, did you have your full party?
No, well, I didn't actually jump into the battle in 8-2, so I never flipped back to Flipside after
Interesting.
8-2.
Oh,
So you lose
that's
Bowser
why.
in 8-2, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to complete a chapter to be able to jump to it. So if you were mid in it, that's why.
That is an interesting point, though. Like, if you progress to a point where one of your party members has temporarily left and then you warp out, do you get them back, or do
I
you
don't
still...
know. I
think they'd
I wish
stay
I would have
gone.
tried that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you have to do in Flipside requires all 4 of your party members. Like if you're just going to buy items and stuff. So yeah, I imagine.
Yeah,
the
I would say
characters
unless
are
you're doing something hyper specific, no, yeah, you don't need them all.
Yeah, because before you do Chapter 7, Mario's on his own before he finds
that's true.
Luigi, right? It's.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way either. You're right.
But what did you guys think about Flipside and its alternate flop side when you found it? How long did it take you to find the pipe between the two?
Not too long, actually.
I was saying this time not too long. As a kid, way too damn long.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
time longer than I want to admit.
Oh really?
I
Dang,
would
that
say
sucks.
I would say definitely, like, if I were playing this as a younger kid. I mean, this came out, I was already probably like 20 or whatever, so I wasn't a young kid, and I didn't play it at the time. But like, I was
Still
trying
on
to,
the bottle. Just that
Right.
bottle was.
I was
beer.
trying to think about like, how would I have felt playing this as like a 10-year-old. And I was like, yeah, I probably would have, like, Flip and Flopside probably would have been pretty confusing because they are kind of mirror images of each
Yep.
other. And there is one very specific point to get through. And then also there's a puzzle somewhere in Flopside that lets you access more of the, I think there's like heart pillars over there and stuff too. Like,
Yeah,
it's like where
last
you go
4
through
heart
that
pillars
mirror.
are on Flopside.
Yeah.
And there's like a mirror that you have to get through, but to activate it, it's like,
Oh fuck that puzzle.
that puzzle fucking sucks. Like,
I
you were
googled it.
I did too.
I'm not doing this.
I'm not wasting any
Oh, you're
more time
talking
with
the
this
color
thing.
blocks?
Yes.
Yeah, those are dumb.
Oh, let's get into that one, Sam. That's you reminded me of what I wanted to talk to you about. The worst puzzle in the game.
I think it's
It
this
happened.
one. I don't even think it's the one you're talking about. It's this one. It's
No,
this
Oh, I know
color
the
block.
other one.
Yeah, I know what you're
The
talking
one I'm
about.
talking about in World 5-1, you have to hit blocks in a certain order, and you get 3 blocks. And the first one is simply like hit block 1, 3, 2, and then it opens
Yeah.
up a door. The second block
Yeah.
is like a 15 number code
Yeah,
that you have to find from a random guy you talk to in town.
You have
right.
to buy it from them.
Buy
Do
it
you
from.
really?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
Oh.
just cheated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
looked it
not
up.
much.
I looked it up.
Uh,
The
I
problem
was
I
like,
had
too
with
much
that
of,
puzzle,
fuck this.
you know, when there's like some sort of a block puzzle, like, I want there to be some sort of indicator that what I'm doing is actually doing something. Like,
Yeah.
those blocks were just completely
Yeah, they're
inert. Yeah.
Yeah. I did remember, as I was playing that part this time, I remembered, like, the first time I played this, I had a sheet of paper in my game case that,
Yeah.
like, I wrote this stuff down as I did it as a kid, which, as a kid, I loved that as a charm. Like, oh, shoot, I gotta go get a piece of paper and actually write this down as this guy's telling me this 15-digit code that my dumb child brain won't remember. God, my
my adult brain is not gonna.
Yeah,
no.
I was gonna say, now they think about it. Yeah, my adult brain's worse. But, and yeah, now I just took pictures of my phone and just, like, opened it up, like, all right, that, whatever.
Well, that's 90% of my note taking. I used to have a notebook when I gamed all the time. Yeah. Just, like, write random things down, and the notes aren't even straight because you're going so fast. It's all over the place, and that notebook was, a big nostalgic thing. Did you guys do any of the extra stuff, like collecting the cards or the recipes? Because I didn't even touch those.
Not this time.
Wow,
yeah.
what are the recipes? Like, I was collecting cards just if I would find them, but
you can make some broken ass food in this game. I remember because I did do this back when I originally played it, and yeah, you can get some crazy buffs, and you can really melt bosses with it if you make the right stuff. I did find the hidden ingredient shop this time on accident. That was fun to find.
I think I did too.
Where it was just
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, high-end ingredients to make like crazy shit.
Yeah, I
was gonna even touch it.
I was gonna mention this before. Like there is quite a bit to this game. Like we all kind of played it at a surface level, had a good time with it, didn't have any difficulty with it, just kind of played through it. So when I first started playing it, I always like to look at how long to beat, just to kind of see. For games like this, it's pretty accurate. For like a tough old platformer, it's like it takes 30 minutes. It's like fuck you, it takes like 3 days. This game, it says it takes about 18 and a half hours for the main story, but can stretch to 50 plus hours for 100% completion. Like how much shit they packed in here. Just absolutely ridiculous.
It's all the damn cards is what do it.
And it says there's 2 pits of 100 trials.
Yeah, there's a flip side and a flop side, which I didn't even find the pit of 100 trials this time. I don't even know where it was.
No. Oh, I think I did find it.
Even?
So one is in the actual world where it originates, right? The other one is down in Flopside. There's like this weird wall that like even if you flip 3D Mario, you can't go past it. But you can jump high as Luigi and open it up. And there's a pipe, or like you're going past this point, and it says like, do you want to save here before you go to the pit of 100 trials? And I was just like, no, I don't even want to do that. Like turned around and left.
I know exactly where you're talking about, but I ended up like going through another part, and I ended up back in where I started, and I skipped that pipe altogether. It was right there. I could have done it.
See, I didn't even find any of this time, because I dealt with this problem the first time I played this game too. I cannot make a mental map of Flipside or Flopside.
It's really
tough. I get
tough.
So lost in the damn overworld. So this time around, I just went to wherever I needed to exactly and got out of there as fast as humanly possible.
Well, think of it this way.
Like I couldn't do it.
Like it's not a traditional like map.
No.
In a way, like when we think of a map, we think of like a top-down view of like a bird's eye view of something, and that's how our brains are like wired to think about space that way. Like this is as if you had a map across a stack of images on paper, and then they were just stacked. Like you can't. Our brains don't work that way, so it's like really confusing to try to get past. Like, and look for even if you've seen one of the heart pillars before and you can picture where it is, there's no way you can orient yourself to where that is.
It took me so damn long to find the last heart pillar.
Because
that was the quickest one for me.
Well, no, because some bullshit, it's out in the open, like, blatantly, long before you need it, but it's not active. It's just a heart floating in the sky. So you forget about it is the problem.
Well,
so
again,
I literally forgot entirely about it, ran everywhere else, and then finally went back there. I'm like, oh yeah, it's this dumb one that was here the whole time.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that I forgot about that. Like I definitely clocked that when I saw it. I was like, I know I got to come back here. That's probably the last one. Like that's pretty obvious to me. But then once I got that last heart, and I was like, yeah, well then I think like, oh, I know exactly where I need to go, but like, fucked if I could find my way there. I went like 8.
That is.
Yeah, I went like 8 different places before I figured it out. I was like, oh, there it is.
I'm just so happy to hear it's not just me that got lost on Flipside. God damn. This is so validating because I'm like, am I a fucking idiot?
No,
like,
it's
I
weird.
could do this as a kid. What's wrong?
Brian.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Brian's saying he has no problem, right?
Yeah, he's just like,
Yeah, no, it was, well, I mean, it wasn't like dumb simple, but, no. Oh, wait, it wasn't dumb simple, but it was definitely, definitely a learning curve on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, this game had to have had a strategy guide. I would have been like really curious.
Oh yeah.
How the, I mean, you would just have to have like images of the screen and just like A to B, B to C to C, that kind of thing to map it out. You would just have like long images of what those planes looked like and how they connected is basically all you'd have to do.
Oh, yeah, it does. Like that. I was gonna say, I might pick one up. Because honestly, this
really
game would be
expensive at this
lot of... Oh, well, I just found a digital one for free.
Oh, sweet,
And
dude.
it's the whole thing scanned in. Yeah, and it's it. Yeah, this game could be a lot of fun with a strategy guide, I bet, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was fun without one.
Knowing where everything is. Most games
Oh,
are
yeah.
fun with the strategy guide.
I was never a big strategy guide kid, like, growing up. I never bought them, but it was probably just because money.
All right, let's get into the enemies here before we start wrapping up. But bosses.
What?
Let's do bosses. Enemies
Yeah.
are boring because the enemies are Mario-esque enemies. You jump on them, or they fart at you, or they're just enemies. But the bosses are where it's at. So you have 4 main bosses. You have O'Chunks, who talks with a Scottish accent. You have Mimi, who turns into a spider, and you have Dementio, who is kind of like this mystic guy who goes around and creates clones of himself, followed by, of course, Mr. L, who I'm not going to give away who that is, but figure it out. Best boss fight. I liked O'Chunks. He was simple.
I liked the Mr. L. Yeah, I liked the Mr. L one where, is that in the space level? I didn't get to answer that question. The space level is my favorite one. The one where you're in space.
Yeah.
Again, sit on carry there, and it's a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, you literally turn into a spaceship. It's
shit.
great.
But I did like...
You really needed to use that pixel, man.
Yeah. Wait, where... Was there one... There was a boss where it was like a shoot-'em-up. Like a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
That was
the
the
first
Mr.
Mr. L one.
Yeah, that was my favorite. That was a lot of fun. Because you're in that... You're carrying that weird little alien that lets you shoot like little laser beams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where you can use carry there, and you go a lot faster, and you can dodge a lot quicker. Yeah, and if you have Mario, you can go into the 3D realm and make sure that you don't get hit by his missiles.
Yeah, dodge. Yeah.
Dodge.
I really appreciated, you guys remember the Underchomp, which was just a traditional RPG boss?
Yes. That was funny.
Yeah, the 3 color. Yeah,
that was pretty good.
I completely forgot that existed until it like came on screen. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot how to do this, and having to like figure out, oh yeah, what's effective and everything. It was nice and charming. That one got the most attention for me, but honestly, I enjoyed the final bosses just because it was nice being, hey, I'm putting all this XP, all this power, everything I leveled up for to use. But a lot of them didn't stand out to me gameplay-wise. I don't know why, now I'm thinking about it.
The most annoying one was Mimi, though, because she turns into the spider there, and the second time you got to fight her with Peach.
Oh.
And I forgot that you had to stun her and then bounce off her. So I ended up like using a whole shit ton of items. I kept knocking her down. I was like, I'm fucking rocking this bitch. How the hell have I not beaten her yet? So I looked it up, because they don't give you hints on the second time you fight them.
No.
So I looked it up, and it's like, oh, don't forget to bounce on her head to knock her legs off. And I was like, you bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you not try the same thing you're saying with Bowser works with Peach, and you just turn into... You have invincibility on the bottom from carry when you jump with Peach, and you're fully invincible from the top as you duck. Yeah, I just jumped and ducked and just jumped at her like a wrecking ball.
Oh,
and
God,
I would
yeah.
eventually... Yeah, and then I would just eventually... Well, I would bounce off her so much I would end up on top of her, and then it would do damage.
Oh, see, I knew you had to pick up the rubies
Sam.
that she shot out. But no, she wasn't a hard fight. I just forgot you had to bounce off her head when you hit her with the ruby.
Oh, yeah. You have to do the additional hit, because if you don't, it doesn't even register.
Then she's invincible unless you knock her legs off.
You're right. Oh, yeah. But, yeah.
Well,
Bosses are cool.
Bosses are a lot of fun. Like, yeah, I think you fight O-Chunks 3 times, and he's always a good time. You just pick him up, throw him, and then you have some other non-repeating bosses who don't associate with Bleck. You got Francis. You go back to him later, you can get another pixel. He's just a nerd. Just a giant-ass nerd. He fits in with the rest of us.
That was a fun part of the game, too, where, like, you're playing, it's like turns into a dating sim with Peach and Francis. It's like you get to pick the responses. I thought that was pretty fun. This game had a lot of clever little things that probably, like, if you're playing it as a little kid, it's just gonna be whatever. But, like, if you kind of know games or gaming, like, there's some fun shit in here that's really funny.
Yeah, it was nice and charming sometimes. Actually, now I'm looking at a list now. I actually enjoyed the first boss, that dragon, because I felt like it was the best use of, like, using the flip mechanic, like, throughout the boss fight. Like, it would, like, come at you from the side of the screen, so you flip, run to one side, jump on it, and then you're, like, jumping over stuff in the air and throwing stuff. It was, I don't know, it used so many mechanics that
it was
I really
a good
enjoyed
boss fight, but the problem with this game is, like, you forget about it as much as you enjoy about this game. So it's always like you're playing a new game, because I forgot everything about it's Fractale's the name of the boss, but I forgot everything about it until you mentioned it.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I looked at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that one was really fun, and it's the first damn boss. I wish they would have saved that.
There's just so much. There's so much packed into this game that, like, I mean,
there really is.
It's relatively quick to play, especially for, like, I don't know if you would consider this an RPG or a platformer. It's a little both.
It's a tough call.
But, like, it's got so much in it that, you know, you could play through it. Like, I could go play through it again, and there would be stuff that'd be like, oh yeah, there was that. That's fun. And I only played it, like, last week. So, yeah, there's a lot of replayability, I think. I would play it again, and I would try some of these different, like, tactics we were just talking about with, like, carry and stuff like that, or trying to find some of the additional pixels and use those.
Yeah, if we weren't on a schedule, I wouldn't mind going back and just kind of exploring. I might actually, while it's still fresh in my mind, go attempt those 100 battle pits and stuff.
Yeah, since there's technically 3.
So what did you guys think of its graphics? Like, it's the bright, cheery colors all the way down to, like, the just simple white lines on a black background of Castle Bleck at the end. Do you think it was a good design choice, especially with the worlds disappearing and the, like, World 6 gets completely obliterated to simply white with a couple of black lines to indicate, you know, ground?
I thought it was good. Like, it had a lot of charm, and it was like, it made every world feel unique, and I felt like it allowed, like, the designers of this one just to, like, really go hog wild with whatever design choice they were going for whatever world. Like, the first world, it's like, all right, super bright, make it, like, you know, reminiscent of older Mario titles, baked in nostalgia. And then, you have things like, all right, now let's do full outer space, and let's use our darker colors, and just really designed stuff that we haven't gotten to throughout the course of this game. I found it extremely charming all throughout.
Yeah, I mean, like, use of space aside, like flipping between 2 and 3D, and then some of the Mario elements are just taken from, you know, they look like they came out of a classic Mario game. There's backgrounds that kind of look like they're, you know, ripped out of, like, Super Mario World, but then there's also stuff that looks like if you were to, like, open a file in Microsoft Paint and, like, make things out of cubes and circles and stuff like that. I really think it has that element of, it's supposed to look like it's been created on a PC or something like that. And I liked that as well. So like I could see where people might think that looks pretty ugly, but if you think about it as what they were trying to portray with that, like it looks like it's made in a computer. I think it looks really cool.
See, I'm going to agree with you and everything you said, Sam. I'm just going to say my like of the graphics is more about how every world is unique. Like, it's very simplistic in its design. Like when you go into a new world and you enter the door and it draws the first part of it and then it draws the door.
Oh yeah, I love that.
It's just a great way to kind of bring this drawing, like this idea of Paper Mario to life. And no level feels dark and depressing. Like even the underwear, it doesn't feel like overly depressing and dark. Yeah, they've got like the skull bones and stuff like that, but it's still a really good looking world, except for that part where you have the darkness. I hate the darkness. I didn't like Castle Black though. I did not like the black background on white. It was just so boring.
There were points in Castle Black. Yeah, you go through all these worlds and you flip to 3D and you can go into the background in some of them and you'll find secrets and it's just these tapestries of beauty, and then Castle Black is just blah. Just nothing. Maybe that's why it's called Castle Black.
They ran out of time and gave up on design.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you can play the card of like, well, yeah, the character wants everything to be nothing, so of course he would live in nothing, but it does feel like it feels like a cop-out even saying that, honestly, for your final world, and it just looks lame and boring.
I don't know, for me it was just kind of like they didn't try as hard as they could have.
No, it was just all black. It was just all black, and I think some of the I had to like use a guide for part of Castle Black because it was like I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but like flipping to 3D doesn't help because it's just more. It just gets turned and it's just like okay, so it's all black and then I rotate it and it's still all black. There's a point where you have to like shrink down and go underneath, and it's like there's no way that you would know that because it's just like kind of black on black. So I don't know if but
it's also like I know what you're talking about, and you have the white line indicating the floor and the wall where the floor and the wall meet. Right. And there's like a little hump in it, and that's what indicates you're supposed to shrink down. That took me forever as well.
Yeah, but that little hump is also black, and so is the wall. So it's like, what am I supposed to do?
You might be surprised if you do another playthrough of this how much of like that nitpicky stuff you end up remembering. Stuff like that, as I was playing through it, I remembered, and I was like, oh yeah, there's this annoying bit with the stairs and having to shrink down, and what was one of the other ones that the stupid caveman people and all that. Like a lot of the puzzle junk with that world, I was like, oh yeah, I need to go get a plant on my head, and just remembered how to do it.
Oh yeah, that was a weird section.
Yeah. Were you guys like me when you got stuck at something? You started going through your pixels to see what they could do and started trying to think of how to use them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was good. Yeah. I liked that because that was like that. Once I got stuck somewhere, I would just kind of cycle through my pixels and try different things. And sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't.
Yeah, I'd use the tip thing on myself, so it would be like, give me a hint, and then it'd be like, all right, time to cycle through all my pixels, all my characters.
Yeah.
Use every ability at my arsenal. Flip again, all that stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Let's get into the music. It'll be the last thing before we wrap up here. I like the music in the game. It is very appropriate for a Mario game.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about it. Like, it's not like mind-blowingly awesome. It's not something I'm going to sit there and put on, repeat on my Spotify. It's just good video game music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was charming. It was upbeat for the most part. It wasn't so overly repetitive that you wanted to put your fist through a wall, but it was it was nice that it was just it was there, it was present, and I had a good time with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to mention the music, see if you guys had a different experience than I did. It was, like I said, good but not great.
it was nice just how it was distinct to every world. Like, yeah, while the designs are changing a ton, the music's entirely different from world to world to kind of match that. Like, the space one is just, like, epic and deep and, like, makes you feel like you're in a Star Wars universe, essentially. And while, like, then you have, like, cavemen, and it's all, like, tribal drums and everything. It was nice to see it match.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys have any last minute thoughts before we wrap it up and give our scores?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good this time, too.
All right, Joe, as our, I guess our guest on this show, you can wrap up first, give your score.
All right. So it was nice being able to play through this again and just having. I remember having such a good time playing this as a kid when it came out and everything, and it just this game has so much charm, so much going for it. I feel like it was a really good bang for your buck. Like, you got to experience so much and so much in a good amount of time that was like you got a good amount of gameplay out of it, but you didn't feel like you overstayed your welcome, which was always nice. Just buckets of creativity was in this, and it was so nice to see, but to not realize too that this was like kind of almost the end of a lot of creativity in the Paper Mario series. I feel like too, like after this, I feel like this is when this whole series started going downhill a little bit, which is a bummer, but it they went out on a good note before it just really turned to shit. Gameplay was good, mechanics were good, it controlled well, and I got no real complaints at the end of the day, honestly. Just besides the second to last world being too fetch questy, that was pretty annoying as hell. So with all that in mind, I think I would give this about, we'll go an 8.5.
8.5 out of 10 from Joe. Yeah. Sam, do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, sure. So this is the third Paper Mario game I've played. I'm like looking at a list. So I've played Paper Mario, I played the Thousand Year Door, and now this one. Well, Thousand Year Door remake, I guess, is technically a remaster or whatever.
Yeah.
This one might be my favorite. I just really think they kind of towed the line really well between making this a platformer, but then also having those RPG elements. It's just really engaging, and where like the battle system in Paper Mario can be a lot of timing based stuff and, you know, waiting and things that I could kind of slow the game down or make it frustrating at times. I mean, it feels silly to say that a Paper Mario game is frustrating because it's really kind of kiddie, but sometimes I could have trouble with the timing on like the hammer or the jumps on a turn-based, you know, game, and this was more like action-packed. I think I really enjoyed flipping things between 2 and 3D and either finding hidden items or little hidden enemies or little paths and stuff like that. Like that was just really, really well done and used throughout the game. It wasn't just like a throwaway thing. Whereas I think like some of the pixels are underutilized, and sometimes, I mean, you can use it as often as you want, but sometimes the pointing the Wiimote mechanic wasn't really used very often to find hidden stuff. So I could have used a little bit more of that, but you know, I always like kept Mario as my main just so that I could like flip back and forth between 2 and 3D and see if there was anything fun going on. Yeah, battles were fun. It really encouraged you to swap between characters, which I thought was also neat. Like usually you kind of stick to whatever character you're the most comfortable with, or, you know, obviously like Bowser does the most damage. And there's obviously layers of the gameplay that I didn't even find because I wasn't using all of those pixels and I didn't even find them all. You know, obviously we mentioned there's the blocker one that, you know, is kind of broken, and that little platform one that you can hover on and also kind of makes you a little bit broken. But yeah, this is I definitely see myself playing this again at some point in the future, if or when I have time. But, those are some things that hopefully I'll remember to go back and try. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to, like now I'm thinking like it's the weekend. Maybe I could like go check out, see if I can find like Sticker Star, Paper Jam, and play one of those, because I love Paper Mario. I love intelligent, and I think it's intelligent design. Is that it? Or intelligent systems? Intelligent systems. Sure. Intelligent design is a different thing. Yeah, intelligent systems. They make Advance Wars. They make Paper Mario. They make Fire Emblem. It's like, good God, what a fucking great studio. I'm gonna give this a 9. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome.
All right, so we got an 8.5 from Joe. We got a 9 from Sam, and now it's my turn. This is going to be kind of hard. I'm watching the Canada versus Slovakia game as we're talking because I'm Canadian and hockey's on.
How they doing?
This game, the minute I turned it on, I was immediately enjoying myself. My biggest problem was the worlds broke up in such a way that I could just kind of checkpoint myself so I could play here and there. And it took me a little bit longer than I wanted to get through this game. But that's not really its fault. It's more my adult fault, because they just my brain would say, hey, now's a good time to pause, and it'd only been like 15 minutes. But yeah, it's just me. But the game itself, Sam said it, the flip to 2D to 3D is absolutely fantastic. I like the variety of pixels and the different things you can do with it. The puzzles are all tailored to the different characters who have unique abilities. Like, yeah, Peach can be invulnerable if she ducks, but she also floats, which gets you over some wide gaps. Bowser, of course, has the flame for the power, and then Luigi jumps high. And Mario's ability to flip in 3D is the entire, game onto itself. The worlds were different. The worlds were unique. Each one brought something new. There's a little bit of bullshitty stuff throughout the game, but it's not enough really to make you hate it. You just look it up nowadays online, and you just you carry on, you keep going forward. The characters in the game, outside of the 4 main characters, they're quite interesting. I like the town of Flipside and Flopside. I didn't have as much problem navigating after a while as you two seem to have had. So it wasn't really a huge issue for me, but it did take me a while to find that pipe, so I might have had a little more experience running between the towns, because you had to do a long trek to get between them if you didn't find the warp pipe in the first area. I like the story. The story is really good. I like the concept of the world being destroyed, like with the void destroying everything. I like the little twist with Mr. L. That was kind of, obviously you're going to know who it is by the time you play the game, but I did like how they used him as one of the bad guys. All in all, I want to go back to this game. I want to actually try the Pits of 100 Trials, do them both, especially using the Bowser carry trick there, where you're just basically steamrolling everybody. Like, even if I get through 50 of them using that trick and I have to work on the last 50, that's still 50 I've killed. But we'll figure that out in the future. I'm going to agree with Sam on this one. I'm going to go a 9 out of 10. Because it is not the perfect Paper Mario. It's my favorite Paper Mario, but there has never been a perfect Paper Mario. Thousand Year Door would probably be number 2, and I'd say Sticker Stars might be my 3rd favorite Paper Mario. Ooh. Mind you, I will let you in on a little secret. I've never played the original.
Oh, you should.
Yeah. I played it.
No.
Yes. I played it back, after I've played these, I went back and played it, and I found that to be a pretty charming experience.
It's a really
Are you talking to Paper Mario or Super Mario RPG? Because that's
I'm talking
the original.
Paper Mario.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, Super Mario RPG
Paper
is
Mario.
good too. No, Paper Mario is fantastic. It's so good.
Yeah, it really is. I'm surprised you guys went with a 9s.
It's a great game. Like, I'm comparing it to Thousand Year Door, and this is better than Thousand Year Door.
I put Thousand Year Door over this, but just by the smallest of margins.
But this one, using the platforming as opposed to the turn-based combat, really works for the Paper Mario concept, and especially the way they utilize it in this game. So that's why I went with the higher score. And I love doing my turn-based RPGs.
Yeah, it's the perfect mix of what Mario is, which is a platformer, and an RPG. Using the score for that, it's brilliant.
This is what I always like to see in a video game is some innovation. Like, obviously they're going to throw their flagship characters onto these, because why not? You want to sell units, but this could really translate to a lot of different types of games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering like if there's anything else like this, I guess, in the kind of action platformer meets.
There's not even anything like this in the Paper Mario series.
No, I know.
Like, after that, this is
like,
it.
More. I want more, and then there's not. I mean, I did mention up top that it is kind of like a Metroidvania, which I guess if I'm craving that sort of a challenge, then I guess I would just play like a like a Castlevania or something like that. But it doesn't have the same
charm.
Type of, yeah, it's not charming like Mario is.
Yeah.
There are some games like I just went to ChatGPT because I was too lazy to try to fumble through Google right now.
Just poison someone's drinking water.
Yeah. Don't worry, all the data centers are in the States. We're fine.
Yeah, I know. They're trying to build one in my state. Get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah. There are a couple of games out there. Bug Fables, Born of Bread. That'd be closest for the spirit of the gameplay, but other than that, it's just it's pretty unique. And Canada just scored, and they're up 1-0.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
USA lost, by the way. They're going to the bronze medal game. Oh, no, wait. Are they out? I'd have to look at the thing again. I always love when Canada faces off against the U.S. because we get really violent with each other.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
All right, so on that note, I think we're done with the Super Paper Mario talk. Joe, thanks for joining us again. We'll definitely have you back within the next 200-300 episodes.
All right, cool.
And of course, if you want to hear more of Joe, he's on monthly on Retro Bites with me as I try to keep that show alive. My baby.
I'm trying to help. Like, I had a bad bout of illness. We're gonna be back at it here very soon.
Yeah, we're gonna. If you do listen to the show, we're trying a format change, trying to make it more fluid as opposed to topical. But you'll see that when you listen to it. Sam, thanks again for every week we talk. So thanks for coming back this week as well. Really
just wandering in and then wandering out.
Yeah. And Helen, if you're listening, we hope to see you back next week. And we're sorry that your plane ticket got canceled. We're investigating Joe for fraud.
Hi there everyone! We here at Retrotopia couldn't do what we do without the support of our Patreons. And to that effect, we would like to shout out our heroes at the hero tier. So a huge Retrotopia thank you from all of the hosts here to Andrew Wright, Wildcard, Unbuckled Cape, Makeshift Money, Sergeant Ombre, Randy Berridge, BCOS19, J Nasty 15, Chris Kaplane, Jack Datchler, Sir Busts-A-Lot, Big Kid 782, Super Dave, Big Brown Dog, Stud Still Smash, Fallen Snow Kiku, Radmac, Calin Hygus, Old Man Gamer, Raging Demon, Radioactive Hooli, Blue Shell Discharge, The Big Deal, Dylan Jacobson, Game Genius, H, Brother Retro, Shane's World, Ovindally, Brian Spritzer. So thanks as always for your support, guys. It truly means the world to us and means we can keep doing this little thing that we love so much. Game on.